Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you're coming from. It's me, Jeff, host of the Craft Hour. Welcome to another day, another show. I've missed you guys. I haven't seen you forever. We're so glad that you're here. Pinkfresh Studio has a great hour in front of you. And this week, I'm joined by my friend Heather Hoffman as we create a fun and exciting new take on our holiday release, where we are deciding to change it up, not make a card this time, and instead get ready for the holiday season by giving you inspiration and ideas off of our gift card holder, as well as give you some ideas about how we can do it with a gift tag. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to do a little sneak peek of our latest release. Welcome to the Craft Hour. It's time to get started. Hey everybody, again, my name is Jeff Lindberg and I'm the host of the Craft Hour. It's such a pleasure to see you. You come here every Saturday in hopes of enjoying Pinkfresh Studio products and meeting all kinds of designers that we can have a whole lot of fun. I'm already noticing in the comments that there are so many brand new people. I want a latte. I'm so glad that you're here. I think you should send me one. I'm into the nitro cold brew. So if you want to send me a Starbucks, I'd appreciate it. Heather is a tea girl. So if you would like to send some tea her way, I know that she would be really appreciative of that. In fact, she's got it. Why don't we head out to Washington and check in with her and make sure that we are sipping our teas and our lattes and having a great morning here at the Craft Hour. Hi, Heather. Welcome. Welcome.
Good morning.
How are you doing, friend? Welcome back to the show. It's been a while.
Thank you. It has been a while. It's kind of fun. I've got my tea, so yes, I'm working on waking up this morning. It's earlier over here on the West Coast.
Yes.
So.
You guys, any of you who are joining us from the West Coast know Heather's plight. Whenever she signs up to do the Craft Hour, she's got to get up early because don't forget, we have rehearsals before the show starts. So that means that we've got to say hello long before we see you all at the noon hour here on the Eastern time zone. We're so glad that you're here. Hi, Barbara. Welcome from the show. We would love to hand a little bit of a nod to the sky to our moderator in the sky, Miss Leah Lawson, who joins us. You know, she is a regular of the show, and she is watching from the skies today. Be sure to talk to her in the comments, and I'm sure she'll be playing along as well. Heather, how is your festive season going? Are you getting ready for the festive season?
Yes. We have our tree set up. My kids are into house decorating, so my job's easy anymore. I get to sit back and just kind of relax and enjoy seeing it get put up. So that always makes me happy.
I bet there are so many things in your life as they've gotten older that you can now sit back and enjoy having them do a little bit more, right? I love it.
Yeah, I mean, them getting their license and, oh, hey, can you run an errand for me?
Right. That's the best part, right? Well, I'm so glad to have you back on the show.
Right.
I asked you if we could please play with the new gift card release. I thought it would be a fantastic way to show people that there's more ways to help celebrate the holidays with Pinkfresh other than just making cards, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and tell them what we're doing today, my friend.
All right. Well, we are playing. So this was kind of a last minute late night crafting. So we're going to play with the new gift card holder from the last release. We were going to, I do have a sneak peek. I'll probably save it towards the end, just something in progress with the new release that's happening next week.
Yes,
so we're going to play with the last release a little bit.
Heather, I haven't seen it, so I'm super excited.
You haven't? No, that's right, because I did it after we practiced this morning. So
yeah.
All right, well, I can save that to the end. Then it'll be a fun surprise at the end. But our project a little bit today was inspired by Carissa Sprinkle with Glitter. She did a project where she used the new chevrons along with one of the stitches die. We just kind of put our own little twist on it. And then Jeff's going to be doing something different because we realized this morning he didn't have what I had that we thought he had. So we're going to roll with it. It's 2020.
It's 2020, and we've learned the versatility of great Pinkfresh products. You can make lots of different styles on this. And thank you for giving a shout out to our friend Carissa and fellow designer. She did an amazing release available both at Pinkfresh Studio as well as her Instagram. but we love the use of her Christmas colors and greens. So however you celebrate the festive season, we're going to celebrate it with golds, reds, and greens. So what we'll do is we will get Miss Heather to switch over to her desktop. I'll say hello for just a second, and then we'll get started on our project today. Again, everybody, welcome to the Craft Hour. So glad to have you here. We're here every Saturday, every other Saturday, and we make great products with Pinkfresh Studio, and we love having a time with you. Don't forget that the more you chat and engage with us, the better we get to know you. Leah can engage and have fun, and I get to know you just a little bit better as well. I know that you interact with Leah and Heather in their shows, so it's really nice to be able to have you here at mine. So I'm going to go down to the desktops and take a look at what we've got lined up. As you can see, we've got a full assortment of stuff ready to go today. Walk us through it, my friend. Oh, she's on mute. Stand by. That's not her fault. That's mine. All right, Miss. One more time. That was my fault. Go ahead.
Try that again. We're figuring out the new camera thing, so hopefully the video quality and everything is better today for everybody. So
that's a good
but yeah,
point.
we're going to use that lovely new.
Let me mention that really quick. We are super excited. We took so much feedback about the quality of the desktop of my guest designers. Y'all were pleased with how my camera feed was doing, but when we sent the signal from everybody else, it was grainy. It wasn't fun for you all. So our amazing leader, Leah and Heather, rehearsed with me, and we have a brand new way of presenting, but it does delay just a little bit on Heather and I's communication because she's having to hear me through another platform. So sometimes it's going to look like we jump over each other, but just look at that video quality. Look at it. Look how good it is. It's worth it, right? All right, back to you, Heather. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No worries. That's good. That was a good point. I forgot about that when we got started. So we're going to use that fun new fillable gift card holder, which it die cuts, as you can see here. It die cuts just as a flat piece, but I don't know if you can see it in the video. Now that my quality's better, you probably can, but there's a little score line. So we're going to score it today. Leah did some really pretty ones, and you can slap a bow and put some decoration and just keep it open. It's also exactly the size of the inside of an A2 card. So you could trim this off and put it inside a card if you wanted to. But it also has little elements that you can use on it. I've seen them used as shaker elements on cards, so I still want to play with those a little bit more, but today we're just using the gift card holder part. And then this Stitches die, I think, has been one of the most popular from this last release. It's just so much fun texture. And we're going to do some ink blending on that and I'm going to be using the nested chevron, and Jeff is going to be using a different.
Yes. So I'm going to be using the color block.
Yes, that's the one, the color block, the gradiating stripes. So, and then I have a little, just to show you how easy it slips in there, I borrowed a gift card from one of my daughters because I didn't have one and forgot to get one. So, but then we stamped something on the inside. So a little bit of die cutting, some ink blending, and just kind of playing with these today.
Heather, I was so excited to note that the little Crate and Barrel card that I found for today's demo has $17 on it. So Merry Christmas to the Lindberg family. I'm going to go shopping with this afterwards. $17 is nothing to scoff at.
I know. My daughter said, you can keep this gift card. I don't think there's anything on it. I was like, well, we better check because I don't want to keep your gift card if there's still something on there for you.
Right. All right. Talk to us about our colors we decided to use today.
Oh, yes. I pulled out Emerald City and Candy Apple. That was also inspired by Carissa Wiley because Jeff said, let's kind of use the same colors that Chris has been using with those really bold colors, but swap out the pink for something. So we swapped over to gold instead of pink just to kind of shake up those colors. So it's a little more traditional Christmassy colors, I feel like.
Perfect. I agree. And I have brand new mini Pink and Main blender brushes that I can't wait to use today because I want to get better at blending.
Awesome. Yes, I love those. All right. So first thing I'm going to do here is score this. So again, the reason this does not like firmly score is it was to keep it so it's a little more flexible so that You can keep it flat and open if you want. And like I said, I've seen some really great examples of that decorated, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it over, and we're going to add that score line on there. I'm going to get it. So it's just kind of a faint little line. So if you carefully just set it on there, you can kind of get that marked on. And I'm going to switch it over to the back, because if we score from the back, it'll fold in better because that's the direction I'm folding it. And I'm a little bit over creased that, so don't look at that example. I'm setting a bad example on that one, but now we can decorate the front so it's like a little mini card, kind of more of a traditional gift card holder style there. Oh, and then comes with these actually, you know what? I did that backwards anyway. That's why it didn't crease right. I told you it's early here. It's still morning.
That's okay. We forgive you, friend. Forgive you.
Okay, now it's all inside, so you can't tell anyway. And then these little holes all punch out, and you can leave them in there and just use them as kind of a textured thing. I punched them out, but I got a head start, so you didn't have to sit and watch. And a little needle or a poking tool, you pop right out, super duper easy, just like that. I just didn't figure you wanted to sit and watch me punch out a gazillion little dots.
It's only an hour show. You're right. We had to move on.
Yes. All right. So the next thing, I'm going to die cut off screen here. And what I'm going to do before we ink blend on these is I'm going to die cut both of these with that nested chevron. And I think you're going to do yours with the gradating stripes. But the main trick is going to be keeping them, when you die cut them, bring them back over and keep them kind of in order so we don't have to reassemble a puzzle.
Mr. Lindberg has already failed with that with the gold only, so I will learn my lesson on the red and greens.
There we go.
So
I have. Oh, good.
Go ahead. I'm gonna talk to everybody while you work for just a second. Getting used to new camera angles. Y'all are over there now. It's fine. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Craft Hour. Hope you're having a great time. We are making a gift card holder from one of the newest releases for Pinkfresh Studio. My guest, Heather Hoffman, so be sure to follow both of us. You can see her on the screen trying out new technology today. And of course, the amazing Leah Lawson is the moderator in the sky today. So we're super excited to have her join us. We are die cutting and we're about to ink blend, which, as you know, is something I'm trying to get better at. So back to the desktops. We are going to be using Candy Apple and Emerald City. And we're going to use, Emerald City, you couldn't not have gold when you have Emerald City. So that's perfect. And we're going to have a good time. We're using two different die cuts. She's using Chevron and I'm using the standalone die cut for the color block to do my gradiating colors. All right. I'm a little nervous about ink blending. You know, you and Leah always have to build my confidence when we're about to ink blend. So,
well, and the great thing with this, what's really fun is that die cut texture on there. When you ink blend over it, you don't have to get it perfect because that ink blending is going to make the detail on that pop, which is half of the fun of it. So it kind of takes some of the stress out because you want that little bit of texture on there. So it's kind of an easy way to ink blend.
Okay. So Heather
and those brushes really make it easy.
Sure. Arjita is already saying it's an amazing gift card. She loves this idea. My friend Sen wants to recreate this right away, just after today's episode. Helen's here. Hi, Helen. She's loving the new episode. The new episode. I'm sure she's loving the new episode of this too, but she's loving the new release, which as well. And Corey, so sweet, says everything I make is beautiful. I don't know about that. I'm trying to catch up with the ladies. These ladies make it hard. The three of them, specifically all the designers, but Leah, Laura, Heather, Carissa, the turnout that y'all have of products, I don't know how you do it. The schedule that y'all keep to get these going, I have no idea. All right. So any tips on how to ensure that this is done well? That's right. We're gonna cut it first before we. Hello.
Yes. Yeah. And do you want me to give you a minute? I did my gold already. I can talk here for a second and let you get one of them die cut if you want.
Gold is done. Now I'm getting ready to do the other. I forgot. You
Okay.
even told me in rehearsal that we are going to die cut and then blend, but in my head, I thought it was the opposite. Pay no attention to the
Okay.
host, everybody. Pay no attention to the host.
All right, so I've got my second one ready. I'll scooch over and die cut this one. Then
Okay.
we'll be ready for ink blending.
Okay, and I am getting ready to do mine as well. All right, viewers, you have to talk amongst yourselves while we cut off to the side here. It always sounds like it's going so poorly, doesn't it? Okay. Leah just, in our private little producer chat, just told me that I needed to stop worrying. She's probably tired of giving me these little pep talks. She's over it. She's over the pep talks. All right. So on this one, I'm supposed to keep them kind of in order as well, so I know my red and greens.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That'll be helpful. I mean, yours will help a little because it goes, gradiating down. So it'll be pretty easy to kind of figure out, but because of the pattern on the stitches, it's easier to kind of keep it in order.
Sure.
And really only need to worry about half of it probably.
Yeah, because you're right. The size is different from the...
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, as I'm saying that, I'm just going to take these little scraps and slide those away to use for something else and deal with them later.
Okay, I agree. And the purple tape that you see, everybody, is the back side of it, and it comes off easily, so I'm not worried about it. I will just flip over to make sure the die cut is the showy side versus the back side there. So that's why you see some purple tape. Okay. All right, my friend.
Hold it in place. Okay. So now, and what I did when I did it last night, just to kind of lay it out and make sure I was happy and knew what I was doing.
Okay.
I kind of grabbed, so I started at the very top with gold.
Okay.
So you can start in any order you want because you're using the gradiating stripes. So I kind of laid out what I wanted to do with my alternating stripes. Then I grabbed them to ink up because it was easier to kind of see what I was doing and to know how many I needed to ink so that I didn't waste time inking ones that I didn't need to worry about.
Sure. And this is why she was asking me to keep this in order, because now I can see how that is very helpful. So let me...
Very helpful.
So
yeah, I'm still on camera. Okay.
So Heather, you're as you get ready for your holiday, what are you with the gifts? Are you ahead of schedule? Has the pandemic put you behind schedule? How is your preparation for the holidays?
I think I'm ahead. I tend to be a last minute shopper, and shopping this year is a little, because I don't want to do the whole all Amazon thing. I'm trying to kind of support local where I can, which means it takes a little more preparing ahead. So I'm trying to kind of be a little more ahead of the game. So I'm kind of a scattered gift shopper. I'm not really organized usually.
Sure, I understand.
I kind of joke that. Oh, go ahead.
I was just explaining to everybody what we were doing. We are attempting to ensure that the puzzle pieces kind of all fit together and that the pattern of gold into red and green makes just a little bit of sense. Now I'm noticing that I am a little shorter, but the good news is that I can cut this down and not affect the size of the gift card giving, which is great.
Yes.
So I will just cut those down on the side. All right.
Yeah, and actually, and mine overlaps too. So I'll show you how to kind of attach them on when we attach them on, and then trim off the extra without any worries there. So
got it. So
make it nice and easy.
What I'll do is I'll get sort of an estimate of how much I'm going to use. So I'm going to use 1, 2, or should I go down? Okay, that one.
You could go vertically, you can go horizontally, you can flip them however you want.
That's true. That is
Super duper fun.
gives you a little bit of the diversity. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
So while you get that figured out, I was gonna say, as far as gift, mostly I shop for my daughters because my husband and I, we both have decided our love language is more spending time together than gifts. I'm not really a big gift person, which always makes it hard for my kids. They're always like, "What can we get?" And I'm like, I don't need anything. I just, let's go out for coffee and spend time together. Like that's more.
Sure. Sure. I noticed that for me, Dan and myself have, really reduced our spending, but we've also not traveled as
Mhm.
much. So we have been getting stuff for the
Mm,
house more, which kind of ruins all the surprises of
yeah,
Christmas. So I'm trying very hard
yeah,
to create a perfect, wish list as we speak. So friends, as you can see,
yeah.
we are using two different products right now. We both have to play a little bit of the sizing and guesstimating game. As you can see, Heather is very organized and much ready, much more
Oh
ready
no.
than I am over there. You can see her chevron is perfectly to alternate between. Now, I noticed that's a great tip. You have decided that you are going to have gold between every single one. So it's not necessarily that it's green, red, gold, green, red, gold. It's always green, gold,
Yeah,
red, gold. Okay, perfect.
yeah.
That's going to look great.
And part of
Okay.
why I did that on the chevrons is there's some skinnier strips, and you can mix and match and grab some of those skinnier strips on yours to put between, however you want to. So you can kind of change up the order a little bit there as well. So
Great. All
I'm
right.
gonna grab the top one there. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I keep my ink blending brushes in the right order so I don't use the wrong ones.
I've decided I'm going to use.
Are we ready to start ink blending?
Yeah, I decided I'm doing yarn on mine to help me, but we'll see if that gets annoying. It might get annoying and I might have to go to a sticker instead. But yeah, let's try it. Let's go for it.
Okay. So I like to just use a cheap piece of printer paper. I know a lot of people use a glass mat or whatever else, but this is just what I found works easy for me to keep on hand. And it protects my desk and kind of gives me somewhere to get my fingers all messy. So I'm starting with the green for my smallest one at the top. And I love how when you ink blend over that texture
Oh,
from the
wow.
die cut,
Yeah.
how it just, isn't that fun how it makes it pop?
Yeah, perfectly.
And you can go as much or as soft as you want over that. And by die cutting them first into the chevrons before we ink blended, you also get the darker color automatically around the outer edges a little bit there. So kind of adds that fun depth.
I see. I see. And you're right. It gives it almost two different colors of red because of the dimension you were talking about. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely gives it a lot of character, which is great too. Great.
Yeah. And I'm just going to do all my green ones at once and then do the red ones. That way I don't have to swap back and forth between colors and brushes. And you can't really mess these up either, because if you do it softer, you get a lighter color. If you do it darker, you get a darker color, and it's just a different look. So I've never seen you do a bad job ink blending. As much as you said you struggle with ink blending, like I've never watched a live where it didn't come out great. So
Oh, that's such encouragement. It's the creative gods helping me um, while we're on live. It's Jeff getting frustrated when he's by himself, and then it turns me off to doing it. But yeah, there's something about the confidence of having you guys around, just because I can immediately ask a question, which is one of the reasons why I love the craft hours, because I feel like there are many crafters like me who would love to just quickly ask a question, is this normal for this to happen? Or,
yeah.
Heather, who did you who
Yeah.
got you started on all of this? I think I've asked you in one of our first episodes together, but who was sort of your idols that made you say, I can do this and it feels like a right fit for me personally?
So it was kind of a funny. So I grew up, my mom was really creative. She So, I mean, even still now, she has Parkinson's and it's pretty advanced, but she still paints and quilts. And she was into card making, all those crafty things. And I had a couple little things I did. Um, but card making, for some reason, was one of those things I always said, yeah, I can't do that. I don't know why. It intimidated me. I couldn't do it. And when I got married and had kids, I started scrapbooking. And my mom was watching an infomercial thing on TV for the Cricut. And she thought, oh, this would be really great for me. So she decided to conspire with my husband and get it for my 30th birthday.
Okay.
So then I had to figure out how to use it. And I started getting on all the Cricut boards. And lo and behold, they had all these fun little card contests. And I started discovering, oh, cards are a lot quicker than scrapbook pages. Like you can sit down and finish one in a hurry. And that just kind of opened up and then I needed stamps for sentiments, and it just kind of mushroomed from there. And I don't even have my Cricut anymore. Now I'm totally a stamp and die girl all the way. But so I always blame my mom. And she's always like, oh, wait, I thought you couldn't make cards. I'm like, well, I couldn't before, or I thought I couldn't.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's what did it.
For me, it was the same thing.
Blame my mom.
It was a silhouette machine, so different brand, but same concept.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw how much easier card making was, and die cutting was so much easier than dealing with the boards and the sticky mats and the program, and feeling like you were constantly like wasting vinyl or paper. And nothing against that community. I could learn so much from it, but this I've taken to this much easier. You know, it's been an easier thing for me. All right, I'm going to grab.
I like the finished edge, like with dies that you get versus, you know, the die cut machine. I know it gives you more versatility and stuff, but I really like that finished clean edge. So
sure. I'm moving to the Post-it tape to control my little smaller pieces here to hold it down just a little bit.
I just have inky fingers.
Yeah. Friends, I hope that you're having fun. You saw that Leah started 100% from scrapbooking as well. And although her and Heather, of course, lead a scrapbooking company, she is a huge fan of making cards and tags as well. That's the other great thing about this, the Pinkfresh community, is that there is just a great blend of different types of makers that we're all learning so much from. The assemblage and the layout of white versus negative space on a scrapbook project is something I've really enjoyed watching at Pinkfresh on the blog, because it does teach you a lot about how to make such an impact in certain areas that you feel like you may not. And it really has helped my layout game.
Mm-hmm. No, I believe that. And I still scrapbook a little bit, but I always joke now that scrapbooking to me is kind of like the laundry or the dishes. It's never done. Where a card, you can sit down and finish. It's done. I think that's why I enjoy it.
So I was mentioning your ability to keep up with ideas. And of course, you have the fortune of working for a lot of different companies, and you have to take a lot of different ideas. Do you just kind of stare at it for a minute and then it pops into your mind and heart? What happens typically with you? Or do you, like the rest of us, get frustrated and have to walk away sometimes?
Oh, I totally have my girls will laugh at me because I'll sit and just be working on something and get really frustrated, and they know I'm over it when it's ripped up and tossed in the garbage. So I totally have those moments.
Isn't it fun, everybody, when our idols when our idols like you and Leah and Heather, like, to know that y'all get frustrated too, or throw stuff away and think, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh yeah. Well, it's always the worst when you're right at the end and maybe it's been, you've had some bumps along the way and you finally are like, okay, it's good. And then you smudge a black ink finger across the front of it or something that just totally ruins it all. And that's when it's like, okay, I need to go do something else and come back. So
sure. I've always said it. I've said it on the show before. Actually, sometimes some of my best projects come from walking away and coming back to it. And so I think that when I was joking about worrying about the ink blending, is that I think I'm trying to get it done and I'm giving myself a stupid deadline that is not necessary. I get frustrated and then I need to walk away from it. So I love coming back to a project and then it working out just fine, you know?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Do you have enough ink blended there? It looks like you're probably getting pretty close.
Yep, this is should be my last one.
Awesome. All right.
So last night, I want you all to know that Miss Heather, of course, the designers have to meet with me beforehand, and she had to dream up this little idea after she was in total mom and wife mode. You had to take Michael to the airport, and you've got a lot going on, and you stayed up and you made this for us. I'm so thankful for this. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'm kind of, when my husband's gone, especially, I find that I'm a late night crafter. I kind of tend to like that.
Okay, got it.
So it
All
works
right.
good.
So, what's the tip? What's our game plan now? I'm going to try to get all the loose ink off
All
the
right.
tabletop so I don't ruin anything that we just took time creating.
There you go. All right. So I took the front of that gift card holder and I just used my tape runner, any adhesive, but I pretty much covered the front of it with lots of adhesive. That way we can lay everything on
Okay.
and then trim off the extra that'll overlap. So instead of putting adhesive on each little piece, putting it on, it's way easier just to put it on that whole panel. So now I've got a good sticky panel there to work on.
All right. Friends, I'm going to say hi to the audience real quick, if you don't mind. Beverly, so glad that you are here. She says that she starts with an idea and then it grows. L&D Clark says, I just did that yesterday. She dropped her ink on her ink pad and it smeared all over the front of her card. And by the way, she tried to do the eraser and the eraser did not work. Valerie wants to know how I feel about the Pink and Main blenders. I will tell you that ink blending with Pinkfresh Studio products has been fantastic. And I will say the life-changing brushes were amazing. But for me, the Pink and Main mini brushes and the Pink and Main large brushes, they come in two different sizes, have been fantastic. So I just ordered them from Michelle and I just got them in. So this is actually my first project using them and I can already tell it's so much easier. But I think you've got to ergonomically figure out what works for you, you know? And for me, the life-changing brushes were a little too buoyant or they bobbed a little bit too much for me. Is that a right word, Heather? Did it buoyant, bobbed? I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Where,
And I always say that I think the best advice if you're trying to decide what you want for blending is to get one of each and kind of try them because I mean, I kind of have a collection of several of them and I like them for different things, but some people really love a certain style and some people don't love. I know Laura Basson still kind of loves her foam pads and she can rock those. And I never had much luck with those. And so I didn't really like ink blending as much until these kind of blending brushes came out to begin with. So
yeah, Laura uses hers like they're like a good frying pan or something. Like it's perfectly seasoned,
yes.
Laura's, right? And so you don't want her to change
Yes.
it because you can tell that they blend like she says like butter. They seem magical. But to me, I'm frustrated. All right, so really quick,
I
I
think
know you.
she's the magical one.
Yeah, there's something in her. Yeah, she's the one that has it. All right, so the tip here, clearly you and I are going to be on two different modes because you have a chevron and I have stripes. But you were saying to
Yes.
think about putting it center and then cutting. Help me one more time with that.
So just kind of lay it on how you want. Don't worry if it overlaps the edges a little because we can trim off the extra with scissors or a paper trimmer.
Okay.
So for you, you can start anywhere you want because yours are straight. The chevrons, I learned this from Leah the other day. She was lining it up on something. This one particular chevron that's like the third largest or the third one down of the large ones. It kind of has that top corner. So that's a perfect spot to line up to start with. And then I can just fit everything else into here. So
Got
I
it.
got that
Okay.
idea from her.
Got it. And so you're okay with us to go ahead to just build this?
Yeah, just
Okay.
start popping them in there and building it together. It kind of, once you get one on there, it's just lining it up against that next one and it should just all go right together like magic.
So my best friend in the whole world, her sister, who, when you have a best friend, you fall in love with the whole family, obviously. And her sister is brand new to a military base here in Florida, in the Tampa Bay area. And she said, "Will you please get me a bunch of gift card holders as well as gift tags? I need about 25 so that I can pass them out to the ladies who are solo for Christmas." And I said, "Absolutely." So
Mm.
this one will find a perfect home as I give her a little way to be not only the new gal in town, but also spend some holiday cheer for families in need, which is exciting.
That's awesome. That's great. I have to say, gift card holders are, I feel like, I mean, you can make these really Christmassy, but it's a good thing to have on hand because I remember what I said about being a last minute gift shopper. So I always seem to get hit by birthdays and going, so a lot of times it's money or gift cards ends up being because I don't have time to go get something else. So having
Sure.
gift card holders on hand would be really helpful for me.
Yeah. So
All right.
again,
I see you've
the
got.
the here I'll show you on your Zoom so you have a perfect view
Yes.
really quick. We will
Awesome.
we'll cheat the audience for a second. So friends, this is just a tip if because as you know I'll go back and do these again as I make more of them. But what I would recommend is really heeding Heather's request to pre-puzzle piece and plan out just a little bit more. Nothing wrong with this one and super usable, but I would have loved to have gotten a little bit more gradient with reds and greens. I only got one
Mm,
green in based to the chunkiness of the gold. Certainly not a throwaway situation here, but definitely something where,
yeah.
like Heather asked, to just understand where your layout is going to be. And I think it will help you all at home just a little bit better.
And
So,
you have all those extra pieces. So since you need to make more of these, your next one can use some of those littler pieces. So you're kind of all set to
yeah.
make a bunch more of these too.
And then
Yeah.
during the holidays, we got to
Okay.
assemble, right? So, what's a good tip here when it
Right.
comes to cutting this down?
Okay. So I like to use a good paper trimmer. So the way I see yours is not quite all the way to some of the edges, but what's great is if you look inside, you have a little wiggle room on that gift card.
Perfectly. Yep.
So as long as you have a good sturdy paper trimmer, I'd set it on here like this, kind of line it right up on that edge, and then you're going through multiple layers. So go over it a couple times with your paper trimmer, depending on what you have to. Oh, see, and you have that. So I think it'll go, I would open it up. Yeah.
Yep.
What you're doing right there is perfect.
And friends, what I'm hoping will happen, and let's cross our fingers that it will happen that way, is that just like Heather talked about, I do have that wiggle room to play with. So I'm not only being able to align the blade to understand how much room to leave myself, but I'm also going to take care of this hangover that we have here. So wish me luck, but I think that we have enough room to play with to keep it perfectly in sync. And I'll do it on the quarter here. So 4 1/4 on the side. And hold it firmly. Nice and flush. That's great. All right.
Perfect.
So one more. This one needed to be a little shorter to probably the 4, so let me get that.
Actually, just use that one.
There we go. All right. Cute. It's got the
All
glitz and the
right.
glimmer. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. I love that
Okay.
little bit of wiggle room to fix it.
Yeah. So tell us about how we're going to use a sentiment.
All right, so I kept it pretty simple on the front. I just grabbed, I think you're using the tree trimming friends for your sentiment, if I remember right.
Yes.
And I have the Our Home to Yours. So I grabbed that little Christmas is Here Bringing Good Cheer sentiment because I love that one. And I'm just stamping it on a bigger piece of white cardstock. I could find a die to cut down, but all the dies I could find, I felt like they were covering too much of my pattern and I wanted to keep that popping out as much as I could. So I just went with a little trimmed rectangle.
Yeah. And also, friends, look how great, when you think about sizing, look how great the Christmas tree can totally fit on your um, uh, gift card holder, which is
Yes.
fantastic. And of course, these cute bears are an option as well. I have fallen in love with those.
Yeah.
Last time we had Leah on, we did a tree set. This
Yes.
is card number 2 that I'm currently working on, an homage to the one that we made with Leah, which is still one of my favorite cards that I've done. So much so that I've got to bring it on camera really quick. Look at that. That's what Leah Lawson had us do last time. These trees do a fantastic job, but I had to do it again because it was so
Those
much
trees
fun.
are so fun.
Well, they just, first of all, they make great impact with being really easy to do. They, like all the guesswork is kind of done
Yeah,
for
the
you.
layering is so simple. Oh, there. I can see it now. That's really cute. I like the way you did that on the slimline.
All right.
Super
So,
fun.
what is the tip here? We are going to cut this out in just a rectangle.
Yeah, so generally what I do is I keep all my little scraps for doing this kind of stuff, and I do it on a bigger piece, stamp it, and then trim it to fit the sentiment. It's easier than trying to stamp on a little bitty scrap of rectangle. So I always go bigger, trim it down, and then that's just easier for me.
And I want Henry and Leah to look. I finally detail black. No more.
Yay!
It's time.
Have you used it yet?
No, it's my first time.
First time I used it was last year down at Creativation in Phoenix, and I hadn't used it till then, and I used it in a make and take, and that's when I fell in love with it. So I'm excited.
Don't make me pull out.
So if you're
pull out the photo, Heather, I've got to now pull out the photo of the first time that I met. Well, it's actually technically the second time I met Heather Hoffman. First time I met Kinnery.
Probably.
But there's Leah and myself. At a time, can you believe that we are almost a year to when we were working at Creativation?
I can't believe it. This year it's funny, it's been a weird year, but it has flown so fast.
It has, right?
It really has. So when you use that detail black, look at that photo. I've got that little delay till I see it. That's awesome. So when you use the detail black, it's really juicy and it stamps really crisp. So especially if you're using a little detail sentiment, if you're using a Misty and you can line it up, I like to stamp it just really gently. Don't push too hard, so you don't lose that definition of the little tiny detail in the sentiment. So I double stamp it usually, especially on those really fine sentiments.
Right. Perfect. I hope everybody is having a great time. Yeah, Leah, you were in that photo. I'm glad you took a time to take a look at it real quick. All right.
And that's stamped. And see, you didn't even use a Misty. You just did it on a clear block, and look at how great that stamped. Isn't that fun?
So easy, right?
Yes. Love it.
And it wasn't that my friends at Pinkfresh weren't trying to send it to me. I just forgot to ask for it. And they were like, we can send it to you. So now it's here. It's here. So tell us about, we've got a fun washi tape price point right now. There's a percentage off on the washi tape right now, right?
Yes. And I don't have any of my cards anymore. I'd pull out and show you. If you're not familiar with our washi tape, some of them are super fun because they come with coordinating dies. So I know there's some videos on our website if you're kind of curious how they work. There's a tips and tricks section that has a couple of washi tape, at least one that I know of. I know Leah has one, and I think there's another one showing how to line those two up. So let me pull out those washis real quick.
Okay.
A couple of them anyway. Oops. And they're all kind of jumbled together. This is one of the tips that Leah had, is she keeps some, I think I use parchment paper. I don't remember what she uses to kind of keep it so it's easier to get it started and peeled off to use it. But they're wide, they're beautiful. And I think, See, and my week's been crazy enough that I need to look and see. I think it's 30% off. Yes, there we go. Just in time, Leah posted it on there, so I don't say it wrong. Would be very good.
And I am, let me show everybody that I am currently trying to get my sentiments just right. I did 3 of them just because I want it to be perfect. So would you like to start to talk about the next release, how it all works, and what we know for sure about it?
So I don't know if anyone came to the Thursday or the Tuesday live this last week. If you didn't, you can watch the replay and get a good sneak peek. But that is going to go live next Friday. There will be more sneak peeks. We were going to use it for the release today, but the postal service and Christmas mail has been a bit slow, and Jeff did not receive his yet. So that's why we kind of regrouped and did this. But I did stamp out a little, or not stamp out, stencil out. This is a stencil and die release. So this isn't perfect because I did this in like 5 minutes before we were getting ready to go live. So I was kind of rushing through. But here's a peek at one of those stencils. It's a 5-layer stencil, and you just layer them up and you blend ink over them. And this one has a coordinating die as well. And let me show you. This is another one of them. These are the cards we made live on Thursday with a different one of those sets. So it's a super fun new concept that Kinnery came up with, and we love it. I'm so excited about all of these. So there's your little sneak peek for today, at least.
Well, it's going to be fun, I can tell. And I am proud to say, as soon as I can pull the right drawer out, guess what I'm going to do? Since we have an homage to our friend Carissa for her inspiration, I'm going to take these lovely little leaves that she sent me for another project, and I am going to take the gold and the white and some more of the white, and after the show, just to show everybody, I'm going to pop these lovely little leaves behind the sentiment that says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, which is, so I'll give you a little bit of an idea right there. So that's going to be cute, just to give more dimension.
That's super cute. Remember we were just talking about mistakes?
Yeah.
I just made my mistake for this morning.
What did you do? What?
On my sample one, I stamped this on the inside, but last night, late at night, I remembered to not stick this on with foam adhesive so I could still stamp that. And now I have this on with foam adhesive, so it's too bumpy, so I can't stamp the inside of that.
You have dimension. You have
yes.
You have troubling dimension, but I think they can see what you were trying to do there.
And you know what? We could fix this by grabbing a little scrap of white, and we could stamp it on there and then just trim it out and put it in there. So there's always some way to sort of fix it.
What would you like to do? Do you want to do that, or would you like to talk to the audience for a little while?
What time is it?
How much time do we have? 40. We have about 9 minutes left. Do you want to try it? Let's try it.
Sure, let's try it.
All right, we're gonna try it, and I'm gonna keep going.
Fortunately, a little scrap already.
I'm gonna keep going with mine. So that is where I'm gonna get some more green, my friends. Remember, I was troubled with the fact that I didn't have what I felt was enough green, so I'm gonna get some more green.
There you go.
And don't forget that.
Stamp this on my scrap.
Don't forget that you have coordinating dies too, don't you, for that? At least that's what
which one?
For I think the ones you're about to use, at least that's what the boss is trying to tell us.
Let me see. Let me look at what. I just saw her comment come through. Oh, yes, on my stamp set. There we go. Leah's brilliant. I was still so befuddled going, oh, what did I do? That I didn't even remember that what I'm using, I can just cut with coordinating dies. She's right.
She doesn't mess around, I'm telling you. She knows how the show
Yeah.
goes.
So I'm just going to stamp these separate then and die cut them out, and then we can pop them on there. Crisis averted.
We love that. And I am just going to ink blend my little ivy leaves here with a little bit more green to give the green that I thought that I was missing. See, Heather, if we just stick around, it all gets resolved.
There you go. Well, and like you said, Leah being there, I probably wouldn't have thought of that if I was just sitting at my desk crafting. I would have gone, aha, and forgotten, and more minds help make that easier. All right. I might even like this version better now.
Right? I am dropping a lot on the desk today. Sorry about that, everybody. Moving quickly.
All right. So we will quickly just die cut these real fast. Plan B will work. All right, I will be right back.
I love that set as well. That's a great set.
All right. Mission accomplished. And maybe even better. Now, if we wanted, we could put foam adhesive on that in the middle and really make it bumpy. Why not? See Pauline's comment there. If only we could all craft in groups. Wouldn't that be fun?
Right?
That would be the perfect solution. Let's see.
All right, friends, I'm going to have to double down on my gluing, but I think that you can kind of get the idea of what I'm going to do there. And I'm going to add another red leaf set in there to make it pop just a little bit, because it's getting lost a little bit, but I learned for this time on how to reduce that gold down, follow Heather's tips there, and then as you can see, we'll pop it open on my end, dimension on the front, and then when you open, we'll put the little Crate and Barrel gift card in there. That'll be perfect. So there you go.
Perfect.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I like that.
And yes. I might even do it off to the side and maybe add some white leaves there too. And I'll be sure to post the end result for you. All right, you keep trucking.
Snowflakes would be fun on there too.
Ooh, yeah. And I have those snowflakes. I might try snowflakes for the other ones too. All right, let me jump on over to my camera while you finish up. Your desktop is still showing. It's just me talking to them as well. All right, let's see what everybody is saying. Hi, Pauline. All the holiday sets are great. Image sentiments and the mix and match, which is great. Try a little liquid glue. Corey, I agree. I'm going to need to get some liquid glue going so that I can seal that down just a little bit. But I think I'm going to try Heather's idea of adding some snowflakes as well, which is good. And Leah agrees. It definitely will help with some versatility on your end, which is good. Kimberly is going to get that die as well. Look at that, everybody. Two different options. One has more dimension. One is flat to the card. Again, demonstrating that versatility. You want to talk to the audience for just a second and jump back on your facing camera?
Swap my camera around. Yes.
Thank you, Sin. We both, I think the projects are going to go lovely as well, too. All right, good. So is everybody ready for the festive season? Whatever you're celebrating or however you're celebrating, I hope that you are prepared and getting ready. We're going to blink and the festive season is going to blow by us because as Heather was just mentioning, 2020, while not being fun, is flown by. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Jill, that's the best part of doing the craft hour is suggestions, ideas. When Heather and I go awry, we've got Leah helping throw out good ideas. It's a team effort. If we could all just get together, maybe we should meet every other Saturday and do this again. That's good. Myra, so glad that you're here. Don't forget that a local craft store is a fantastic way to support small business, like Heather was talking about. We don't need to necessarily always have an Amazon Christmas, right? And then, of course, Pinkfresh Studio has amazing mail options and shipping as well, and a very easy-to-use website, I might say. Dee is ready. Sylvie's here. Sylvie, I'm sorry I didn't see you earlier, which is great. Any questions for Miss Heather before we wrap up our last 5 minutes with the show? Barbara, thank you. I hope that you've enjoyed the video quality just a little bit better. And I've got good news for someone who's been commenting and participating in our random draw. It is our very own Hawaiian crafter, Miss Sin from Stampin' Munchkins. Sin O'Hara, I don't know if I say your name. That's how I say your name whenever I read you on Instagram. But you won your $15 gift card. You know the deal. Just send Leah a note at leah@pinkfreshstudio.com. And they'll send you a card, right? Oh, look, my amazing partner. Dan's here. Look at that. Let's throw him up for just a second. Great job with the cards. Do you know that he is out running right now with the dog? My mom is here in town, and Dan and I just celebrated our 15th anniversary last night. How about that? And he still watches card videos, Heather. That's love. Does Michael watch your card videos, or does he just say, nice job, honey?
He does. I don't know if he watches the videos as much, but I'm always showing him my cards and, hey, look at what the one I made, or this is what I'm doing today. And he puts up with it admirably.
Right. So let's put up Leah's comments there. Just a reminder that Sen, you'll please allow 2 to 3 business days for reply. Leah and Heather are trying to run a stamp company with Kinnery, and they're trying to land the Christmas season. So it takes just a few minutes before they'll get back there as well. Well, Miss Heather, do you have a busy weekend ahead of you?
Just time in the craft room, which busy but fun. So that's not a challenge.
You got some deadlines, and I've got to make these holiday tags, but it's going to be so much easier with this product. And as you said, the assembly feel of this, it can go pretty fast, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is great. All right, awesome. Miss Heather, thanks so much for a great visit with me. I hope all is well in Washington. What's the weather? Let's just compare weather really quick. I had a cold week last week.
Peek.
Oh, yeah, we get
Look at what just came out here.
That sun, look at that. I'm telling you, it's early on her coast. She says that it blasts into her craft room sometime, which is good. Meanwhile, I'm going to head into some lunch and grab some grub with my mom who's visiting, which is great. All right, friends. Thank you so much, Heather. Have a great afternoon, and I hope to see you soon or in the next production meeting. Sound good?
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed another episode of the Craft Hour here at the Pinkfresh Studio YouTube channel. Got so much going on, and I hope more than anything that you enjoyed the production quality of this a little bit better. I have a new camera here, which is great, but we also have a new video feed for our guest designer. So really thanks to Leah and Heather for leading the way there and getting us on a platform that's just a little more sturdy. I would love to visit with you. Make sure that you check me out at Mr. Jeff Lindberg on Instagram. Connect, and I'll post my project after it's complete. And of course, you can build. You can also build, but you can check out Heather at Houses Built of Cards as well. She's tagged in the Instagram stories for both my channel as well as Pinkfresh Studio. So be sure to follow and engage with her too and see all of her amazing projects. It was another great Saturday with each of you. I've missed you very much, and it's been great to connect with each of you. Hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving if that's what you celebrate. And no matter what's your festive season, I hope you celebrate that too. I'll look forward to a next episode in the future. Until then, thanks for joining, everybody. Have a great afternoon.